Hi everyone, I'm Anita Ewing and you're watching Anita's Country Living. On today's episode, I am going to show you how to make quick, easy pickled peppers. This is a really simple recipe and I'm going to show you step by step how to do this. Stay tuned and thanks for watching. I'm going to start just letting you guys know what you're going to need to make this recipe. You're going to need white vinegar, 5% acidic. You're going to need Mrs. Wage's extra crispy. This is just to give your vegetables an extra crunch. When I make pickles, I use this. When I can peppers, I use this. It keeps them nice and crispy. You're also going to need peppers. Today I'm doing banana peppers. You can also use jalapenos. I got some jalapenos over here and we're probably going to make some of those too. But any peppers. You can use this recipe for any peppers. This recipe calls for 5 pints, so you're going to need 5 sterilized jars. I have my jars in hot water right now, so when I put the hot brine in, they'll be good to go, because if your jars are cold, they will crack and bust. You do not want that to happen. So my jars are in really hot water right now before I fill them. You're also going to need a canner. I got mine warming up, getting ready to boil. Over here in this pot, I got my lids and my rings heating up, because I like them to heat up because it helps with the sealing process when I put it all together. And this is my brine. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the ends off of our peppers. You can cut the seeds out of them if you would like to. We get the majority of them out, but we don't pick all of them out. When you're working with hot peppers, I recommend wearing gloves because some people their skin is really sensitive, and if you don't wear gloves when you're working with jalapenos or hot peppers, your hands will be set on fire. They can burn and you'll be miserable. So I'm kind of used to it. It doesn't really bother me that much, but if you're afraid that your hands are going to get hot and start burning from the peppers, I recommend wearing gloves. Okay, we're going to start with chopping our peppers. I'm using my mandolin again. It does a good job with our peppers also. Makes perfect little rings. Okay, now we have all of our peppers chopped, and now I am going to start filling my jars. Okay, I have my 5 sterilized heated jars here. First, I'm going to put my 1/8 of a teaspoon of pickle crisper in it. Mrs. Wage's Extra Crunch. We're going to do 1/8 of a teaspoon per jar. Now we're going to fill our jars full of peppers. Now that I got my jars filled, I am coming over to the pot, and in your pot, you're going to want to add 6 cups of vinegar and 2 cups of water. And you're going to want to bring this to a boil. And then after you bring it to a boil, you're going to want to simmer it for 5 minutes. Our brine has came to a boil, so we are now simmering for 5 minutes. Okay, this has simmered for 5 minutes. Now we're going to get ready to add it to our jars. On my handy dandy funnel here, you want to leave a 1/2 inch headspace when you're filling your jar. Okay, I got my jars filled with our brine, and now I'm going to take my little leveler, my measuring spoon leveler, and go around the edges of the jars to make sure I get all the air bubbles out. Now that our jars are filled and our air bubbles are out, we need to wipe the tops of our jars off to make sure there is nothing on the top of our jar, no brine mixture or anything, so that our jar is sealed properly. Okay, now our jars are ready for our seals and rings. A little leveler is a magnet. Really helps get the seals out of there. And remember, when you're putting your rings on your jars, before you put them in the canner, finger tight. You don't tighten them up because it could mess up your sealing process. So just finger tight. After we have added our seals and our rings finger tight, we're ready to add them to the canner. So I'm going to slowly add them to my canner. You're going to want to do that level, like one on each side, because if you put 2 over there, it's going to flip on you. We don't want that. Got one more here. Let's spread them out evenly. Now I'm just going to drop them down into the boiling canner. We're going to cover it. We're going to bring it to a boil with them in there, which it's already starting, but we want a rolling boil. So as soon as this starts rolling boil, we're going to start timing it for 10 minutes. And then after the 10 minutes, our canning process is done. And I'll get my jars out and set them on this towel to cool. And you'll hear them start to ping, and that means they are sealed. All right, now we're gonna let I don't know if you could hear that on the video, but I've already got one jar that's sealed. You hear that ping? That means your jar has sealed. You heard the one jar ping, it's sealed. So now we're gonna wait for the rest of them. Okay, now that our jars have all sealed, I'm gonna clean up our mess. It's a pretty simple process. That's about all there is to it. It's pretty straightforward. If you guys have any ideas that you would like to share with me or any recipes you would like me to try, I would love to do it. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out a lot. And I do appreciate your support. And until next time, thanks for watching and God bless you.